Hello everybody and welcome back to another ECLAIR tutorial. This is Simone from BUGSENG and today we are focusing on the setup of ECLAIR GUI for this demo project, which is very popular among our customers because it can also be used from batch, ECLAIR GUI and from within IDEs. In this video I'll be using ECLAIR 3.10. But the very same process applies to ECLAIR 3.11 and following versions. Along with many others, you can find this demo project in the demo project folder on our issue tracking system, which is accessible to all our customers. I'll leave you a link in the info box below. And I'm telling you this because this setup process is applicable to most demos. So if this is not the specific demo you are looking for, this video can still be useful to you. I'm assuming that you have already downloaded and unpacked our demo project. So we can now take a look of the readme.txt file, which contains information on how to configure and use the demo. Please make sure you have downloaded the correct demo, that you have installed ECLAIR correctly, and that ECLAIR bin directory is listed in the path environment variable. Otherwise, you will have to modify the ECLAIR_settings.bat file in the ECLAIR folder, as specified in the README file. Let's proceed with the first adjustment, which is checking that workspace_dir, Eclipse and Eclipse_ini environments contained in the settings.bat file are correct. Well, now I'm opening the settings.bat files and I don't need to modify the workspace_dir variable, but on the other hand, since my Eclipse folder is actually on my desktop, I have to modify these two variables, Eclipse and Eclipse_ini. So let's check out that both files, eclipse.ini and eclipsec.x, are here. And let's correct the path of both. Perfect. Now we have to follow the step 2 of our README file. And we have to check that the toolchain used within Eclipse for the CRC project corresponds to the one that is specified in the file eclair_settings.bat that we can find in the ECLAIR folder. Let me quickly open it to verify it is ECLAIR. And now let me open the eclair_settings.bat. These are the intercepted components of the toolchain. In my case, all the components are correct, so I don't need to make other change. Let's return to the README file. Okay, now we can proceed with the GUI section, and there are many ways to launch the demo, but the easiest one is to simply double-click on the crs.acs file, and the ECLAIR GUI will be automatically opened. Perfect. Now we can return to the README file, and here in this paragraph there is written that we can skip the steps below and go directly to run analysis, but I will quickly touch on each of them anyway. Let's start with the project step, and from the GUI we can go to the project panel, and here we have two fields, the top directory one and the name one. The first one is the top directory of the source files, and also it's the directory where the output will be placed. That the name field is a unique identifier of the ECLAIR project, which is shown in the most of the outputs. The next step is the environment one. It allows you to prepare the environment variable for the analysis. It has three fields: path, file variable, and string variables. With the first one, you can add one or more directories to the path environment variable. With the second one and the third one, you can respectively set environment variables with the path of a file or an arbitrary string. Okay, click on next, and here we have the toolchain step, and in this step we can modify all the components intercepted by the toolchain. In this case, in my specific case, as we said above, I don't need to change anything. Now we have reached the services step, and in this step I can add, remove or modify the list of the enabled services for the analysis. In this case, only MISRA C 2012 is enabled. So let me add another service, for example b.mat.his. That's services that computes metrics. Well, now we can go to the next step, that is files. In this step we can add or exclude some particular files from the analysis, and by default all files under the top directory that we have specified in the project step are analyzed. Now it's time for the tasks step. This is a very important one because here we have to inform ECLAIR about how build your project and also how to clean the project directory after a build, because we want to be sure that all the files created by the build process are removed, and that the next analysis will be performed on the new files. The two scripts will receive a parameter that's the name of the project. Okay, that's all for this step. We can go to the next one, that's the settings step, and here we can specify one or more SEL files to be included during the analysis and also during the report phase. These files can contain advanced configuration for many aspects of ECLAIR. For example, every service can be easily configured, and the ACL files are the place where to put this advanced configuration. We have almost finished. We just have to perform the configuration step, and as you can see here we have a field for each of the previous steps, because I didn't mention it before, but for each step we can have multiple configuration, and now we have to choose the combination of the configurations we want to use to perform the analysis. Also for this step I can have multiple configurations, and this could be very useful, for example if I have many ways to build my project, or if I'm interested in a different set of rules, not at the same time. The analysis phase is finished, and now we can finally run an analysis. In this panel we have just to choose the specific configuration, and in this case we have just the CRC underscore 32. So let me just simply click the run button, and now I'm asked to save the change I've made on the configuration file. This is expected because we have modified the services list. So let me click on save, and now the analysis is started. So we have just to wait. As you can see, the build logs are printed directly on the GUI. Okay, the analysis is finished, and now we can see this pop-up informing us that the run finished correctly. And this pop-up will not disappear because we want to be sure that if something goes wrong, the developer doesn't miss a message from ECLAIR informing him her about it. Now we can close the pop-up and go into the view step. And in this panel we can see the history of all the analysis performed using the ECLAIR GUI. And before the character we have the name of the configuration, and after we have the time when we have performed the analysis. Clicking on Browse, a file explorer gets opened. In this directory we can find all the logs of any phase of the analysis, plus the reports and the metrics in different formats. For example, the ODT directory contains all the reports and other information about the analysis in ODT files, a format suitable for the LibreOffice and the OpenOffice suites. These files can also be produced for Microsoft Word. Let me go back in the previous directory and go to metrics to show another sample. Here we have all the metrics exported in a metrics.txt file, and we provide also two spreadsheet files, one suitable for Microsoft Excel and the other one suitable for the LibreOffice and OpenOffice suites. And with this file we can perform advanced manipulation of the raw txt files. Let me close the artifacts directory, and now by clicking on view we can show all the information contained in the output database in ECLAIR report, and by clicking on reports by service we can see all the violations. Okay, great. For this video it's all, and I want to remind you that in our YouTube channel is available a video showing a proper work session with ECLAIR where we focus more on the reports, and we also show how you can solve violation using the main features of ECLAIR and of its IDE plugins. If you made it so far, make sure you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we upload the next videos of this series. Thank you very much for watching and see you the next time. Bye.